The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 13th day of July 2023. We got ourselves a barn burner for you today. We are live from Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois for the Braves and the Cubs on a Friday, September 7th afternoon. Beautiful day, 70 degrees, and it's blowing in from left field at 19. Coming off the prairie, that is not towards the lake. So interesting wind for that today, and of course it's blowing in. But maybe the biggest thing today is, besides these new sheets that you see here, is a pitching matchup. It's a decent one today. I think we might have a low-scoring game. As I jinxed that, it'll be a 10-9-1 for Atlanta and Chicago. It is Kerry Wood for the Cubs, looking for his 12th win of the year. And if he strikes out 15, he'll hit 200 strikeouts on the year against some scrub by the name of Greg Maddux, who may or may not have pitched well in both Atlanta or Chicago in his career. So that's the setup for you. A cool, breezy day here on the north side of Chicago. Greg Maddux and Kerry Wood, the Braves and Cubs, have identical records. They're both 72 and 67. The Braves still have a chance at winning the division. They're 3 games behind Florida. The Cubs are pretty much played for the wild card. They're 3 games behind Arizona, as Houston's lead is 12. So that's that for that. Let's get to it, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents 2001 in Action PC Season Odyssey. Today from Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois, it is the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or in wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So how you doing, Tribe fan? And Pesky Pole on his anniversary is lounging by the pool at the beach. Not a beach day here in Vermont. Kerry Wood has won his last 11 decisions. He's 11-2 with a 2.27 ERA. He is making his 24th start of the year. How you doing, Big Dave? He is 24, throws the cutter at 97, and is a ground ball plus pitcher. His ERA is second in all of baseball, and his 185 strikeouts, good for 8. He last pitched against the Dodgers on August 3rd, so he's coming off an injury. He went 7 innings on that day in a 3-0 shutout, just 93 pitches, 6 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. His season high, by the way, is 13. He did it twice. Once against Milwaukee and once against Milwaukee. So that would be twice against Milwaukee. 142 2/3 for Carey. 94 hits, 39 runs, 36 of them earned. 12 home runs. He's walked 72 and struck out 185. And speaking of Chicago, our friends over there had a rough night last night. Very heavy storms, tornado watches and warnings throughout the Chicagoland area. We hope and trust that you all made it through unscathed. It's supposed to thunder here later in Vermont, which is not what we need. We don't need any more rain. Lineup for Atlanta: Brian Giles leads off at second base. Julio Franco at first will bat second. Chipper Jones at third will bat third. Brian Jordan in right will clean up. B.J. Surhoff in left goes fifth. Andrew Jones in center batting sixth. Sanchez at short goes seventh. Paul Bacco behind the plate goes eighth because Greg Maddux in his 110 pitches is on the mound batting ninth. Yeah, Palm Springs expecting 119 this weekend. Yep, you can have all the water you want out there. Hopefully Bernie's okay. Here is how the Cubs light up defensively. Rondell White, a 4 and a 3 in left. Michael Tucker a 3 and a 3 in center. Sammy Sosa a 6 and a 7 in right. Bill Miller a 3 at third. Ricky Gutierrez a 3 at short. Eric Young a 4 at second. Fred McGriff a 4 at first. That is not good. Todd Hundley behind the plate is an 8 and a 1. That's a ramen noodle arm, but Kerry Wood doesn't expect to put that many balls into play. He's a 7 with a .971 fielding percentage. As we said, he is fan 185. He hasn't pitched in a month. And if the Cubs are to surpass the Diamondbacks or the NL West second place team for the wild card, this is one he's got to win. Giles at 254, 6 homers, and 19 RBI. Strike him out. There's a shot for you. A fastball at 99. And that's how this one starts. Here's the ageless, and I mean ageless, Julio Franco at 333. No homers and 3 RBI. I'm sure that the beaches in South Carolina are very nice this afternoon. Got him. So a good morning and a good afternoon. A 2-2 curve. Got him looking. So here's Chipper Jones. Notice that Chipper didn't name any children after Wrigley Field. Larry is at 314, 25 homers, and 91 RBI. Wood has 2 strikeouts. Winds and deals. It gets away from Hundley, but it's a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. Wood strikes out the side on 16 pitches. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books. Atlanta nothing. Here come the Cubs. So Greg Maddux making his 30th start. He has 4 left after this. He is 10 and 8 with a 2.70 ERA. He throws that Bugs Bunny changeup and fastball at 82, and that ball just sinks. It's a ground ball plus pitcher. His last time out, the 4-time Cy Young Award winner, pitched against these Cubs in Atlanta, a 5-0 win September 1st, 6 2/3, 113 pitches, 8 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So he has settled in after what was kind of a shaky start to the year. 199 2/3 innings for Greg, 187 hits, 66 runs, 60 earned, 19 homers allowed. He's walked 27 and struck out 158. I hope that midlife crisis got his truck fixed. When we left him yesterday, he was still waiting for the tow truck to come get him. Eric Young will lead off for the Cubs at second base. Michael Tucker in center batting second. How you doing, Mr. Howard? Sammy Sosa and Ewan Wright will go third. Fred McGriff cleans up at first. Rondell White in left batting fifth. Todd Hundley behind the plate goes sixth. Ricky Gutierrez at short batting seventh. Bill Miller at third goes eighth. And Wood, who struck out the side on 16 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. He should throw about 120 pitches. B.J. Surhoff a 4 and a 4 in left for Atlanta. Andrew Jones a 10 and a 6 in center. Brian Jordan a 7 and 9 in right. Chipper Jones is a 3 at third. Sanchez a 7 at short. Marcus Giles a 4 at second. And again, the ageless Julio Franco, he must be only 500 at this point, a 5 at first. Paul Bacco a 4 and a 5 behind the plate. And Maddux is a 10 on the mound. He has, 17 gold gloves? I don't think that's much of an exaggeration. And a fielding percentage of .986. But yes, 119 in Palm Springs is indeed a dry heat. How you doing, Zalapsky Smurf? Eric Young is at 287, 6 homers, and 45 RBI. And so that's still about 100 degrees, even if you take the 20 degrees off for being dry. Pitch to Young. There's a ground ball to Maddux. Fields his position well. That's the understatement of the century. 1 out as he throws to Franco. So here's Tucker. Michael at 257, 5 homers and 24 RBI. Ground ball past Franco in the right field. Tucker will hold with a single, and that's the first base hit. So here's Sammy Sosa. Sammy at 279, 40 homers, and 107 RBI. Does Mr. Howard have a pond where he's goat sitting? Oh, yeah, 119 is still hot. And Tribe Fan points out that the HVAC people will be busy out there. And Sosa loops this one into left field for a base hit. Of course, in the desert, like Palm Springs is. And Tucker's going to hold at second. There's just not a lot of clouds, so hopefully people aren't there playing golf in that weather. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke is no laughing matter. Fred McGriff at 285, 8 homers since coming over from Tampa, and 25 RBI. There's a ground ball. Giles should have it. Sanchez for 1, and McGriff will reach. There is no throw, and there's runners on the corners, 2 out for Rondell White at 301, 13 homers and 51 RBI. The lake here, by the way, getting millions and millions and millions of gallons of new dirty water from all the flooding, because that's where it goes in Vermont, into the lake. Pitch to White. Fly ball, left center field. Jones coming in, and Andrew will make a fantastic sliding catch on the grass. How about that? No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We played 1 here at Wrigley, no score. So here's Brian Jordan, Surhoff, and Andrew Jones to follow. Brian at 286, 15 homers and 64 RBI. How you doing, Steve Tate? Ground ball to Eric Young. Diving stop by the bag over to first. 1 out. Hopefully, Steve, you are having a normal summer weather. Here is B.J. Surhoff at 258, 13 homers and 53 RBI. Ground ball to Young, second verse. Not as great, but same as the first. 2 out. So an easy inning so far for Wood. Here's Andrew Jones, 259, 35 homers, and 84 RBI. Wood winds and deals, and a ground ball. Gutierrez has to run right in, almost right behind the mound, throws to get Jones for a perfect 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across after an inning and a half, no score. So Todd Hundley, looking like he's ready to go on to a soft rock album here. A nice 96 here today in Lehi, Utah. Is that how you pronounce it? Triple digits coming this weekend. Utah's far enough north that it gets snow in the winter. Hundley at 223, 10 homers, and 34 RBI. Struck him out. That's the first for Maddox. He got him. There is no such thing for Maddox as an off-speed pitch. That changeup, quote-unquote, was at 75. And for Maddox, he struck out 159 now on the year. Gutierrez at 261, 8 homers and 51 RBI. 1 out. There's a line drive left center field. That's going to go all the way to the ivy. And Gutierrez is into second standing with his 18th double. Still have a little snow on the mountaintops here now. We don't normally keep it in July. Miller, 302, 5 homers and 21 RBI. They will start snowmaking the first week of October. And hopes that, and one of the areas always tries to be open on the 1st of October, even if it's not enough to do a proper ski. And usually they can stay open to the middle of May. I'm not sure how good the snow is. Pitch to Miller. Fly ball, left center field. Jones Goes back, makes the catch. Gutierrez to the bag at second. And with 2 out, Don Baylor's going to hold him. You can probably appreciate the fact that skiing conditions is not something I have a tremendous amount of interest in. Kerry Wood, by the way, 9 for 46, hitting 196 with 2 RBI. 2 out. No score here in the second. That's in the center. Andrew Jones will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the third here at Wrigley. No score. Alta Ski Resort, is that in Utah? Set a record this last winter at 900 inches of snow. Alexa, how many feet are 900 inches?
900 inches is 75 feet.
That's about the range that Steph Curry shoots at. 75 feet of snow. I'd never leave the house. Not sure they'd ever be able to get back. Ray Sanchez, by the way. Paul Bacco and Greg Maddux here in the third. Ray at 202 with 2 RBI. Lines this one in the left center, and that's the first hit given up by Wood. And Sanchez over from the Royals, a threat to steal. Bacco at 211. Can he bunt? He can't bunt. 2 homers and 9 RBI. I shouldn't say I have no interest in ski conditions. My dad wrote for Ski Racing Magazine for 30-some-odd years. And try as I might, it was a hard sport to watch on television. Pitch to Bacco. Fly ball, right field. Sosa will make the catch, and Sanchez goes back to first. So that'll bring up Maddux with 1 out. Greg at 190, 11 for 58, and 3 RBI. McGriff and Miller playing for the bunt. Throw to first, and Sanchez is back. Wood deals. Well, that's a bunt. Hundley goes to second, and they get the speedy Sanchez. How about that? So not a good bunt. And Maddux is on first with 2 out. Opening 9 for Kerry Wood, his first appearance since getting hurt against the Dodgers in early August. 40 pitches, 2 2/3, a hit, and 3 strikeouts. Marcus Giles was one of the 3 strikeout victims in the first. Fly ball, left center. Tucker will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 2.5, no score. So as Eric Young digs back in, we'll tell you that Greg Maddux over his opening 9. Efficient as always. 25 pitches, 2 hits, or 2 innings, 3 hits, and a strikeout. Young is 0 for 1. The only good thing I think about getting 75 feet of snow is that it just fills up all the water tables for you. And so the West, which is traditionally dry, has plenty of water. Pitch to Young. Popped up behind the plate. Bacco doffs the mask. Makes the catch, 1 out. Now, after all this talk about weather and snow and precipitation, do you think Bill Nye, the science guy, would call a couple innings of baseball? There's Tucker. He's 1 for 1. He singled. Ground ball to first. Franco has it. Takes it to the bag himself. 2 out for Sammy Sosa, who singled his first time up. Maddux winds and deals. There's a long shot left field, and it is gone. So a home run for Sosa. There wasn't anything B.J. Surhoff could do but turn and watch it go. For Sammy, that's his 41st of the year. His first against the Braves, and the Cubs go up by the score of 1-0. Scotty says only 617 inches at Mount Baker. Only 617. That is near Bellingham, and that's a beautiful area. I just watched a video of I-5 through that area. Just drop dead gorgeous. The record at Mount Baker is 1,140 inches, which is 60 inches short of 100 feet. So that would be, even with my bad math, 95 feet of snow. The record, not the 617. That would be 51 feet in 5 inches. I'm assuming that stays snow-capped all year. McGriff, by the way, stepping in 0 for 1. Maddox steals. There's a ground ball to Giles over to Franco for the out. That will retire the side. The solo shot from Sammy Sosa makes it 1-0 Cubs. So Franco, Chipper Jones, and Brian Jordan. Franco in this picture is only 39 years old. We get 150 inches on top of Mount Mansfield. That's a lot. And if you're not familiar with Mount Mansfield, that is the highest point in the state of Vermont, about 4,500 feet, which I know you out west are laughing at that being the highest point. We get about 80 inches of snow a year here in the city. Franco strikes out again. That's Carey's fourth. A 1-2 curve swung on and missed. So that brings up Chipper Jones. Chipper struck out his first time up. There's a line drive center field. That's a base hit. And for the Braves, that is their second hit. Brian Jordan's 0 for 1. Wood deals. There goes Chipper. The throw down to Young. And Chipper has his 10th steal of the year. So the Braves have the tying run in scoring position. 1 out, top the 4th. Brian Jordan is 0 for 1. Ground ball, Wood towards the first base bag. Throws to McGriff for the out. 2 out for B.J. Surhoff. B.J. is 0 for 1. Wood from the wind. Fly ball, left field. That's well hit, but into that wind. And Rondell White will corral it. So no runs hit. The Braves have left on 2, the Cubs 3. But after 3.5, it's the Cubs 1, the Braves nothing. So here are the standings as we play the games of Friday, the 7th of September, 2001. Florida by 2.5 over the Braves and the Phils. Or Braves. The Phils are 3 back. The Mets 10.5. In the Central, Houston's magic number is 11. The Cubs trail by 12.5. They are 3.5 back of Arizona for the wild card. The Braves, the Phils, and the Cardinals are all also in the wild card chase. In the West, San Francisco by 3.5 over Arizona. And everyone else is just kind of playing out the string. American League, Yankees by 2 over the Red Sox. In the Central, we'll have Chicago and Cleveland for you tomorrow at noon Eastern. It was an 8-game lead to start the week, and now it's down to 6 again. But the White Sox magic number is 17. And in the American League West, Seattle by 3 over Oakland. The Mariners have won 94 games on the year. So here's Rondell White. He is 0 for 1. Maddox starts the 4th. Ground ball to Sanchez. Ray, a good toss over to Franco for the out. Todd Hundley struck out his first time up. By the way, the kickoff of year 5 of Digital to Dice is tentatively scheduled for July 29th. That will be a live show with all sorts of surprises and all that. So that would be episode 194, the start of year 5. Ground ball, first base side. Franco gives it to Maddox, and Hundley, being a catcher, is retired. 2 out for Gutierrez. Ricky doubled his first time up. Surprises and prizes? I don't think we're doing any prizes. I don't think we had enough time to pull that off. But if you are a game developer that just happens to listen, and you'd like to, for something for us to give away during the 5th anniversary or the kickoff to year 5, Digital Dice, the word TO.com. Or digitaldice@yahoo.com. Yeah, Dave was a great guest. Dave Cook was an absolutely great guest. What are you working on, Steve? I see you doing the baseball stuff with Beatles Eternally. So what are you working on right now? Gutierrez, as we said, doubled his first time up. There's a ground ball. Maddox off the mound, sprints towards Franco, and that will retire the side. Nothing across for the Cubbies in the 4th. Chicago 1, Atlanta nothing. So it'll be Andrew Jones, Sanchez, and Paul Bacco. Andrew 0 for 1. When is the D2D wife edition? Would be interesting to hear their point of view. I'm not sure Sarah would ever want to do it. You get Sarah and Sharon on for a couple minutes. Pitch to Jones. There's a line drive center field, and Andrew reaches. Brings up Ray Sanchez again over from Kansas City. Ray singled his first time up. He can bunt. So we'll play for it. McGriff and Miller in at the corners. That's what he does. Hundley rifles one down to Eric Young, and Sanchez is retired. 1 out. Jones on second. Andrew the tying run. Here's Paul Bacco. He's 0 for 1. There's a ground ball. Young by the bag at second. Over to McGriff. And that will be the second out. So Jones goes to third. 2 out for Maddox, who's 0 for 1. Remember, Wood has been out for a month with arm trouble, which would be his Achilles heel over the course of his career. Well, in his first outing back with the Cubs as they try to fight for the wild card, 4 2/3 of shutout ball. Pitch to Maddox. Ground ball, base hit left side. There goes the shutout. Jones will score, and we are tied at 1. So 4 hits for the Braves, 4 hits for the Cubs. And now I'll bring up Marcus Giles, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Wood, 18 batters deep, 71 pitches, 4 2/3, 4 hits, and 4 strikeouts. Basketball, Steve is working on basketball and baseball great player files using a player's best 3 or 4 years average and custom player photo cards for every player in those files as well. Wow. Doing at least 3 to 4 more photos for each player, so there are options. Wow. Pitch to Giles. That's a line drive to center. Tucker makes the catch, and we're halfway home on a rainy day in Vermont. That's not what we need here. Braves get a run on 2 hits, no errors. The lines are identical. 1-1, 4-4, and 3-3. If you join the sleigh, here's how we got here. Sammy Sosa A solo home run in the third, his 41st of the year, to make it 1-0 Chicago. And just a moment ago, Greg Maddux, an RBI single with 2 out to score Andrew Jones from third to make it a 1-1 tie. You'd expect this one to be a good pitcher's duel, and it has been. Kerry Wood, 4 hits through 5 and 4 strikeouts. Greg Maddux, 4 hits through 4, the home run to Sosa, and a strikeout. Bill Miller stepping in to the at 0 for 1. Steve, has the data and photos done for 286 basketball players so far. Baseball has 76 done so far. Only so much time in the day. Pitch to Miller. There's a ground ball left side, base hit. And Bill is on. Steve Tate, if you're not familiar with him, he does have a YouTube channel, I believe of that name, is the guru of homebrew for Action PC. Steve works full time too. Here's Kerry Wood. Kerry is 0 for 1. Franco and Chipper play for the bunt. Wood obliges. Chipper almost down by home plate. Throws it to Giles for the out, and Miller goes to second. So 1 out for Eric Young, who was 0 for 2. Maddux opening 18, 53 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, the home run to Sosa, solo shot, and just 1 strikeout. Ground ball to Sanchez. Ray on the grass throws to first. Franco is there. Miller goes to third, 2 out. Michael Tucker is 1 for 2. Steve says, and this is his opinion, as I research basketball players, I've come to realize there are too many players in the Hall of Fame, in his opinion. Now, don't forget that the Basketball Hall of Fame is both for professional and college. Michael Tucker is 1 for 2 with a single. Al Red Sox fan is not in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Tucker slaps this one to second. Giles by the bag over to Franco. And that's an error. Miller will score. And Tucker, what's he going to do? Is he going to go to second? He goes to second as Giles has found Keith Olbermann's mom watching over the Cub dugout. Or the Brave dugout. The Cub dugout's at third. So Tucker takes second on the 2-base error, and the Cubs go up 2-1. Maddux has not retired Sammy Sosa. He has singled, hit his 41st home run, drove in his 108th, and scored his 99th. And they're going to give Sammy a free pass to first base. So an intentional walk for Maddux. It's only the 28th walk he's allowed in 204 1/3 innings. They'd rather pitch to McGriff, who's 0 for 2. Ground ball to Giles, in on the grass. He goes over to Sanchez for the out there. 4-6. Giles playing in the outfield grass, not the infield grass, and that will retire the side. However, the error is very costly, as it allows a run on a hit and the error, and we go to the 6th. It's the Cubs 2, the Braves 1. Julio Franco is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Wood starts the 6th. Line shot left field, all the way down in the corner. White will go grab it. Julio is digging for 2. The throw goes into Gutierrez, and Franco has his 3rd double. So that's the 5th hit for the Braves. Now you can see by Franco's speed, it's a 1 out of 10. That Franco and I, in a 30-yard dash, would be watching Usain Bolt win his gold medal by the time that we got to first. Steve goes on to say about the Basketball Hall of Fame, even looking at just the ABA and NBA players, too many in his opinion. It appears baseball has about 1% of all players where the NBA and ABA is closer to 3. Okay. Dave got stuck in traffic. He's here. Chipper Jones has stolen a base, singled, and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Franco on second. Jones draws the walk, and Wood is in trouble here in the 6th. Brings up Brian Jordan, who's 0 for 2. Ground ball might be 2. Gutierrez to Young for 1, and Eric will throw late to get Jordan. So they get Chipper. 1 out. Tying run is Franco at third. Jordan on first. Here is B.J. Surhoff, who's 0 for 2. Line drive center field. We're tied up. And in fact, Surhoff has a double. His 24th. And Jordan is into third. So Kerry Wood coming off his injury for about a month. Maybe starting to tire. Here's Andrew Jones, 1 for 2. A single and a run scored. Wood digs in. Ground ball to third. Miller will concede the run. He throws to McGriff for the sure out. And the Braves pull ahead by the score of 3-2. So Surhoff on third, 2 out for Sanchez, who has a single and a sacrifice. He's 1 for 1. Ball 4. So Wood, due to bat 5th in the 6th, to face Paul Bacco, who is 0 for 2. So the Braves have a pair in here and now carry a 3-2 lead. Pitch to Bacco. Got him for the 5th strikeout of the ball game. Carey got him to chase. How you doing, Mike from the truck? 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Braves. After 5.5, it's Atlanta 3, Chicago 2. Someone want to poke Pesky Pole and tell him he needs to roll over on the beach. We don't need him to get a bad sunburn. Here's Rondell White. Rondell is 0 for 2. Maddox starting the 6th on 64 pitches. Struck him out. Bacco lost it, found it, tagged him. And there's 1 out for Hundley. Todd is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. There's a fly ball, right center field. That ball is well hit. Back goes Jones to the track. That is off the wall. Hits the ivy. Hundley is in the second standing. And the Cubs have the tying run in scoring position with 1 out. For Todd, that's his 16th double of the year. Gutierrez 1 for 2. Ricky can bunt, but he also doubled in this ball game, so we'll let him hit. Maddox deals. Ground ball to third. Chipper over to Franco. And Gutierrez is retired. Hundley has no speed. 2 out for Miller. Bill is 1 for 2. He's singled and scored. 3-2 Braves, bottom of the 6th. Miller into right field. Jordan will pick it up. Remember, Hundley has almost no speed, and Jordan has a great arm. But Brian chooses to throw it in the infield, and the Cubs have knotted this one up at 3. For Kerry Wood, who will try to get him through 7, 0 for 1. Ground ball to Giles. Over to Franco, and that will retire the side. Cubs leave a man on. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. To the 7th at Wrigley we go on a beautiful day. 3-3. So Maddox had an RBI single in this one. He's 1 for 2. And Keith Lockhart will pinch hit. So Keith is a pinch hitter at 164, a home run, and 4 RBI. Maddox's day is done after 6. He cannot lose it. He could win it if the Braves score a run. Overall, Lockhart at 183, 2 homers, 11 RBI. Ground ball to Gutierrez. Ricky well in on the grass. Throws to McGriff, 1 out. Brings up Marcus Giles, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Harry has struck out 5. 27 batters, 109 pitches, 6 in the third. 6 hits. All 3 runs are earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 5. Make it 6 as Giles looks at an 0-2 cutter. That brings up Julio Franco, 1 for 3. He has doubled and struck out twice. Has also scored a run. Got him. That's 7. Stretch time 3-3. Well, Steve Carsey coming over from the Indians in the John Rocker deal on June 23rd, making his 29th appearance with Atlanta. 2-2 with 3 saves and an earned run average of .368. He last pitched 2 days ago against Montreal in a 6-4 win, an inning and a third, 27 pitches and 2 walks. So overall, 29 and a third for Steve, 32 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned. A home run. He's walked 10 while striking out 19. Eric Young is 0 for 3. Ground ball to Sanchez. Way and deep in the hole. Throws to Franco. 1 out. So Carsey in the 9-hole. The Braves did not make any changes. Here's Michael Tucker. Michael is 1 for 3 with a single. That's going to be in the left center field. Jones has it tracked, and Andrew makes the catch 2 away. Sammy Sosa up. We have a severe thunderstorm watch for Burlington. Again, we don't need the rain. Sosa homered in the third to make it 1-0 Chicago. In the left field, that will drop for a 2-out single. So Sammy is he going to go for 2? He's going to hold. Brings up McGriff, who's 0 for 3. Normally, over the first 12 days of July, the average amount of rainfall here in Burlington is 0.19 inches. This week, we've had 2.53 inches. So, over 10 times the amount of above normal. And that was just between Sunday and Tuesday. There's a fly ball right field. Jordan, that is well hit. Jordan turns, and that is gone. So Fred McGriff is homered, and it's 5-3 Chicago. I wasn't sure. Jordan went back to the wall, realized he wasn't going to be able to play it or catch it, so he started to back up to play it off the brick, and it just kept sailing. So the crime dog hurts his own team. And as they would say, don't you wish the Braves would have players like that? So that's a 9th for McGriff since coming over from Tampa. And with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th, it's 5-3 Chicago. Here's Rondell White. Rondell is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Fly ball left field. Back goes Surhoff. Well. Off the wall. So White has a double, and they are tattooing Carsey hard. That's the 10th hit for the Cubs. Here's Hundley. Todd 1 for 3. A double, a run scored, and a strikeout. Carsey deals. Struck him out. But that was a big inning for the Cubs. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. We go to the 8th at Wrigley. It's the Cubs 5, the Braves 3. Right. Who are we going with here? We're not going with Dave Weathers. It is switchy righty-lefty. Ron Mahay coming in. Ronnie, 1-0. A save and a 1.86 ERA. He is 30. Changeup at 92. Standard pitcher, making his 9th appearance with the Cubs. Already, he came over on August 22nd, and they have used him a metric ton, including 2 innings against Florida on the 3rd, in a 5-3 win where he picked up the save. 28 pitches, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. 9 2/3 for Ron, 2 hits, 2 runs. That came against the Braves on the 1st down in Hotlanta. A home run, a walk, and 12 strikeouts, or 7 walks rather, and 12 strikeouts. He's here for 1 inning. Chipper Jones, Brian Jordan, and B.J. Surhoff. 5-3, Cubs lead. Chipper 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, stolen a base, and struck out. Fly ball, right field. Sosa, 1 out. For both of these teams with identical 72 and 67 records. This is game 140. The Braves are 2.5 behind the Marlins and for first in the National League East, while the Cubs are going to need nothing short than an absolute choke job by the Astros, who have a 12-game lead. Jordan is 0 for 3. Brian has scored. Struck him out. A 1-2 changeup, swung on and missed. And let's see if the Braves will pinch hit B.J. Surhoff here. 1 for 3, a double, and an RBI. 3 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Braves. They've left on 5. That error was quite costly by Giles. 5 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the Cubs. And they have left on 7. And Bernard Gilkey will pinch hit, which is the right call. As a pinch hitter, Gilkey at .326 with 2 RBI. Overall, .263, a home run, and 3 RBI. 2 out, 8th inning, 5-3, Cubs leading. Struck him out. So a clean inning from Mahay. And after 7.5, Cubs 5, Braves 3. So Mike Remlinger will come in to pitch. And this pitching change from Wrigley Field is brought to you by Just for Men, because you shouldn't be in your 30s and look like Mike Remlinger. Mike is 35, as a matter of fact. 2-9 with a save and an earned run average of .465. Fastball at 92 and a ground ball pitcher, making his 67th appearance of the year. He last pitched against the Expos 2 days ago, so that would be Wednesday. In a 1 inning in a 6-4 win, he went 11 pitches and struck out a batter. 60 innings, 63 hits, 33 runs, 31 earned, 11 dingers, 28 walks, and 72 strikeouts. So Gutierrez, Miller in the pitcher spot to face the lefty Remlinger. And it was a straight swap into the 9-hole. So no other changes for the Braves. Ricky is 1 for 3 with a double. Fly ball, right field. Jordan 1 out for Bill Miller. Bill is 2 for 3. Has singled twice, driven in a run, and scored. That's into shallow right center. Jones coming in and will make the catch for 2 out. Now, Mayhay isn't going to hit. He went 0 for 2 in the real year. He stays in the game and strikes out because I'm an idiot. I'm a complete idiot. I wondered why the computer didn't make a sub. Because I'm the computer, and I'm an idiot. We go to the 9th. No runs, no hits, and no errors except for the brain fart by the manager. All that being said, Cubs 5, Braves 3. Righty, righty, lefty. Tom Gordon coming in. He's known by Flash at this point, but it's Tom Gordon. He's made 27 saves and 30 chances. He's 4-1 and a 2.12 ERA. His 53rd appearance. He's 33 years old, fastball at 92, and a fly ball pitcher. He last pitched against the Braves down in Atlanta 5 days ago in a 9-3 loss. He struck out one man on 5 pitches. 51 innings, 39 hits, 12 runs all earned, 8 homers, 8 homers, 13 walks, and 71 strikeouts. The Autobot getting the mic from the truck. Don't worry, your name won't be changed to Uncle Idiot. If you live in Cambridge, Vermont, you got a boil water notice. We provide the smartest infotainment you possibly can on this channel. Here's Andrew Jones. Braves need 2 to tie, 3 to go ahead. Andrew 1 for 3, a single, a run scored, and an RBI. Gordon sets and fires, base hit right field. So already the tying run will be at the plate for Atlanta. And that is Ray Sanchez, who I wonder if they'll pinch hit or bunt. He does have a sacrifice, a single, and a walk, so he's 1 for 1. McGriff and Miller play for the bunt. And Mark DeRosa will pinch hit. So the future manager will guard the lines of Team USA as a pinch hitter at 0.77 with an RBI. Overall, 250. 4 homers and 17 RBI. There's a line drive into left field, and Gordon hasn't got anybody out yet. White will pick it up. So the tying run is on first. And Paul Bacco, who I would imagine they'd pinch hit for, is the potential go-ahead run. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The Braves have Javi Lopez on the bench. Bacco stays in the game, and Gordon strikes him out. So 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. And the Braves certainly will pinch it here for Remlinger. So 2 on, 1 out. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Cubs. They've left on 7. 3 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Braves, and they have left on 5. It'll be Ken Caminiti as a pinch hitter, hitting 167. Since coming over from the Rangers, hitting 233, 6 homers, and 15 RBI. Hundley and Gordon get their signs in order. Gordon from the stretch Caminetti lines this one to center. Tucker moving over and will make the catch, and now Braves are down to their last chance. So last chance saloon time for Marcus Giles, who has struck out twice and is 0 for 4. He does have some power. He has 6 homers on the replay and 9 in the real year. Gordon deals. Fly ball left field, but that's going to hook in the corner. White dances over the bullpens, and somebody from Joliet makes the catch. No balls and 2 strikes. To Giles, the Braves down to their last strike. Gordon deals. Struck him out, and the Cubs win. Hey, the Cubs win. So 2 hours and 59 fake minutes. If you're a Philly or a Marlin fan, you're liking that. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Cubs moved to 73 and 67. They left on 7. 3 runs, 8 hits, and an error for Atlanta. And they left on 7. Fred McGriff, his 2-run shot, that's going to be the Digital Dice MVP, 1 for 4. Also a good game from Sammy Sosa. So Kerry Wood, coming off the injury, gets the win. He goes to 12 and 2, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 7. Mayhay and Gordon combined for the strikeout 4 in 2 innings. Greg Maddux, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. A home run to Sosa, walking 1 and striking out 2. Steve Carsey, a bad inning to go to 2 and 3. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, all earned, including the good-sized home run from Fred McGriff. So the lead now for Florida is 3, and the magic number is 20. And the Cubs remain 12 back of Houston. The rest of this Friday in baseball and everything else is under the lights. Reds beat the Pirates 5-3. McRae 2-1. Manzanillo 0-4. Dimitri Young 3 for 3. 22nd home run and a double. Phils beat the Expos 5-4. Polite 1-0. Javi Vasquez 13-9. No highlights today. Oh no, there are all sorts of highlights. Never mind. The Mets shut out the Marlins 9-0. Glendon Rush. Hugh Steve Goodman's Go Cubs Go on the PA. Rush 5-11. AJ Burnett 12-7. Robin Ventura 2 for 4 with a double. Toronto beats Detroit 7-6 and 15. The Tigers pound out 17 hits. Coco, not Chanel, gets the win. He goes to 3-0. Patterson falls to 5-8. Stewart 3 for 6 with a triple. Tomorrow's opponents, Cleveland beats Chicago 5-4. The margin is now 5. Wickman goes to 2-6. Bob Howery falls to 4-2. Kenny Lofton 1 for 2 is 14th and 2 walks. The Red Sox pound 5 home runs and beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium 14-6. Kim 2-3. El Duque 3-5. Jose Offerman 3 for 5 is 9th of the year. Hits 2 homers and drives in 4. The Dodgers beat the Cardinals 9-0. Kevin Brown goes to 7-4. Dusty Hermanson 10-11. Gary Sheffield 2 for 4 with a double. In a battle of strikeouts, the Brewers strike out 17 times. The Astros strike out 15 times. The Cubs gain a game as the Brewers beat them 3-2. Suzuki 2-2. Wade Miller 12-7. Jenkins 3 for 5 is 17th and 2 RBI. Texas Downs the Royals 7-5. Davis 13-7. Wilson 4-8. Carlos Beltran 3 for 4, a triple and 2 doubles. Colorado beats San Francisco 12-7. Davis 5-2. Brian Bowinger 1-1. Barry Bonds hits his 47th, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. Randy Johnson strikes out 11 through 7 innings and gets no decision. as the Padres beat the Diamondbacks 1-0 in 10. McElroy 5-1. Rory's talented. Brohan 0-5. Trevor Hoffman picks up his 24th save. The Padres struck out 15 times. Seattle 95-game winners. They beat Baltimore 10-3. Abbott 11-5. Mercedes 10-12. Cameron 3 for 5, a 17th and a stolen base. Oakland beats Tampa 9-8-11. Guthrie 6-4. Say 0-1. Tyner 4 for 6, 2 RBI, and 2 triples. And last but not least, Anaheim pounds out 19 hits. Troy Glaus has driven in 100 as he has 5 RBI and hits his 35th in a 13-1 pasting. Cooper 1-0. Kyle Loesch goes to 5-4. Cleveland, Chicago, the game tomorrow at noon. It'll be Glover and CC Sabathia in that one. And I'm looking. We might do the Red Sox and the Yankees on Sunday. Nomo and Pettit. But we'll see how tomorrow goes. So that's that for that. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the White Sox and the Indians from Cleveland. Have a good day, everybody. So long.